It's a lovely day for racing here at Imola OSRW 1.15 as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Huge Ass posted 148.131 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Sonoila posted a 149.056 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
With just 264 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Jack M team has a best lap time of 2:54.974. Bernd posted 151.419 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Lars is getting to grips with the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup 992 in this practice session. Smells Like We is on their practice outlap. Jura U posted a 151.670 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? It's a lovely day for racing here at Imola OSRW 1.15 as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. With just 261 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Oi, these practices Arena Euro T just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Mr. Bang is on their practice out lap. Lars has a best lap time of 1:49.488. It's a lovely day for racing here at Imola OSRW 1.15 as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Here we go, folks. The atmosphere is electric as the drivers prepare to unleash their machines on the track at Imola OSRW 1.15 for the qualifying session. Mr. Bang is on their outlap. Mike has secured a respectable fourth in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Mike's current position of fourth reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
A strong showing from Jack M team as they currently sit in third. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. A solid performance from AccouncerBot as they currently hold position 7. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. What a performance from Huge Ass. They currently occupy 3rd on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favourable starting spot? A tough outing. Mike O'Hagan has completed their outlap. Magic Mike has completed their outlap. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. AccouncerBot has completed their outlap. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Mike has completed their outlap. Currently in 9th, Richard Rossier has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lap. Richard Rossier has completed their first flying lap in 1:48.595. A tough qualifying session for Mr. Bang. They're currently mired in 11th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination. Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. It's an impressive showing by Robin Overbeck, currently in 2nd. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Robin Overbeck's current position of second is a testament to their
Robin Overbeck has just completed a lap in 1:47.291. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Incredible drive by Lars so far, earning them 5th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be? Lars has just completed that lap in 1:48.218. Their best lap so far is 1:48.218, putting them in P3. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? A disappointing performance from Armin Suneuler so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 14th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Armin Suneuler is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character, and I believe they have what it takes to overcome this setback.
A solid qualifying performance by Magic Mike, positioning them in second at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. O'Hagan has completed their first flying lap in 1:46.300. Impressive work from Jack M team, who has claimed 3rd on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Jack M team has done a fantastic job to claim 3rd. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Robin Overbeck has secured a respectable 2nd in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
I completely agree, Rob. Robin Overbeck has positioned themselves impressively in second. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
It's been a struggle for Bernd in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 11th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid. Jack M team has put in a great effort and currently holds 3rd. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Jack M team will be happy having put themselves into 3rd in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Jerry Yu has just completed a lap in 1:48.515. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. It's been a challenging session for Bernd. They're currently languishing in 12th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around. A strong showing from Robin Overbeck as they currently sit in 2nd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. And there goes Eric Wolfs, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Eric Wolfs has positioned themselves well in 9th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
disappointing performance from Smells Like We in this qualifying session. Currently in 11th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. A solid performance from Robin Overbeck as they currently hold position 2. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Robin Overbeck will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session. A challenging session for Mr. Bang so far. They're currently in 14th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better. Mr. Bang has just completed that lap in 1:50.916. Their best lap so far is 1:50.916, putting them in P14. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? An outstanding display from Mike in this qualification session. They have been on fire, putting in blistering lap times and currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard. It's a statement performance, showcasing their speed and determination.
Absolutely, Rob. O'Hagan is setting an impressive pace and demonstrating their dominance on the track. Their competitors have a challenging task ahead to match their performance.
Not the ideal start for Armin Sunoiler in this qualifying session. Currently in 15th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance. A tough outing for Mr. Bang in qualifying today. They currently sit in 14th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result.
Well said, Rob. It's certainly not the result Mr. Bang was aiming for, but this is motorsport, and anything can happen. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and seize any chance that comes their way to improve their position.
Mr. Bang has completed their first flying lap in 1:50.663. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Impressive display by Roll Postma, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Roll Postma will be happy having put themselves into third in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Megasaurus 55 so far. They find themselves in 11th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Megasaurus 55 is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head-on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
Megasaurus 55 has some work to do, as that 148.128 is only good enough for 6th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
What a performance from Robin Overbeck. They currently occupy 2nd on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position? And Robin Overbeck will be happy, having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session. A tough qualifying session for Eddie G. They're currently mired in 14th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. Currently in 10th, Hugh Jass has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. It's been a struggle for Eddie G in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 12th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid. It's a masterclass from Robin Overbeck in this qualification session. They have stamped their authority on the track, setting the pace and currently leading the pack. It's an outstanding performance, and they are making their intentions clear for the race ahead.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Robin Overbeck is displaying an exceptional level of skill and confidence. They are in a class of their own and have taken control of this qualification session.
A disappointing performance from Eddie G so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 12th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result. Impressive work from Hugh Jass, who has claimed 10th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Absolutely, Rob. Hugh Jass has put in a remarkable effort to secure 10th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Hugh Jass will be happy, having put themselves into 5th in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
Richard Rossier has positioned themselves well in 9th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Lars has put in a great effort and currently holds 8th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
You're absolutely right, Rob. Lars's current position of 8th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on the starting position.
It's an impressive showing by Megasaurus 55, currently in 7th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Megasaurus 55 has positioned themselves impressively in 7th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Incredible drive by Lars so far, earning them 8th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Megasaurus 55 has secured a respectable 7th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Great analysis, Rob. Megasaurus 55 has shown excellent pace to secure 7th. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
A solid performance from Lars as they currently hold position 8. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. A solid qualifying performance by Lars, positioning them in 8th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Imola OSRW 1.15, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Robin Overbeck to take control of the race. Securing the 2nd place is Mike O'Hagan. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Roel Postma starting in 3rd position.
The Dutch driver will be focused on a good result from here.
On the 4th grid slot we have Jack M Team.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
Hugh Jass is going to be starting from 5th.
What can they do with that Porsche 911 GT3 Cup 992 from here?
From the middle of the pack, we have Armin Sunola in 6th place on the starting grid. Sitting in 7th is Megasaurus 55. In the middle of the pack, we have Lars starting from the 8th position on the grid. The 9th starting position belongs to Richard Rossier, who will be looking to make up ground early on. Starting from 10th on the grid is a good position for Jury Yu to launch an attack.
But if they can find their rhythm early on, they could be a real threat.
Eric Wolfs has got their work cut out for them starting from 11th on the grid. Eddie G may have a bit of work to do starting from 12th on the grid.
We've seen great results from here. What has Eddie G got in store for us?
Starting from 13th on the grid is a tough ask for Smells Like We, but they're up for the challenge. Starting from 14th on the grid is a decent position for Burn, all things considered.
Are the softs tires the way to go?
Mr. Bang has qualified 15th. Green's up, and it's on like Donkey Kong. Let's see which legend can jump ahead and give it a whirl.
Precision is everything during these initial stages. One wrong move could cost them valuable time or even force them out of the race.
So Robin Overbeck's decided to play it cool, eh? Holding onto one like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob, and we'll see a return to form for Robin Overbeck in this outing in Italy.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Megasaurus 55 will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. Who lit a fire under Burn's bum? They've leapt forward like they spotted a tenor on the ground.
Well, slap my knee and call me surprised. Burn's out of the gate faster than a jackrabbit in July.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at Assetto Corsa friends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Imola OSRW 1.15. This is going to be good to watch.
Maybe Jack M team hit the snooze button one too many times this morning, already losing places at the start.
I'm sure Jack M team isn't laughing, but they've given us a bit of comic relief with that slow start. Time to get serious and make up some ground.
If consistency was an art, Megasaurus 55 would be Picasso today. Just churning out those laps, one after the other. Big gains for Megasaurus 55 as they move up the field, leaving Lars behind. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is in control. They're ahead of Lars by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon.
A few lengths might not sound like much, but in racing, that's like dancing on the edge of a razor blade. Megasaurus 55's footwork is top-notch today.
It's a game of inches now as Richard Rossier tails Eddie G closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
With the way Richard Rossier is stalking Eddie G, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
Struth. If Eric Wolfs gets any closer to Richard Rossier, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Tosa.
Should things go south between Eric Wolfs and Richard Rossier, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Richard Rossier is the predator, with Eddie G firmly in their sights.
With a gap tighter than a new pair of jeans, Richard Rossier is pushing the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup 992 to its limits. He's got that racer's instinct, looking for that sweet spot to pounce on Eddie G.
Whoa there, Mr. Bang is sticking to Eric Wolfs like glue. You reckon Eric Wolfs is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like watching a high-speed domino effect, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned games.
Armin Sunoiler wants to close that gap with Megasaurus 55. The gap between Armin Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.4 seconds. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
If Richard Rosier gets any closer, they might as well ask Bernd for a piggyback ride.
Richard Rossier's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Bernd's just raring to go.
Richard Rosier is looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Meanwhile, Bernd is off to the races, making Mama proud.
It's going to be tough. Armin Sunoiler is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Lars to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Armin Sunoiler is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Lars can capitalize on any mistake.
Look at this hell, what a shame for Armin Sunoiler. They've lost P6 to Lars and that's got to hurt. Sorry to cut in here, crikey, Mike thought they were on a Boomerang's flight path. Only problem? Didn't come back.
Dang, Magic Mike's swerving around like me chasing a sale at the car parts store. Always ends up being a wild ride.
The action is non-stop as Armin Sunoiler shadows Jerry Yu through every twist and turn, determined to claim 7th.
The only thing closer than Armin Sunoiler to Jorg Yu right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
Hold on a second, I don't think that's the fastest way around Imola OSRW 1.15.
Well, butter my biscuit. Richard Rosier's lost it like I lost my patience with that old carburetor of mine. A real test of character.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Bernd must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
Blimey, Armin Sunoiler is closing in on Jerry Yu like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Pyratella. It's like watching two predators circling. Hold up a mo. Talk about going walkabout on the track. Eddie's off on a little bush adventure at Imola OSRW 1.15, aren't they? Who needs speed dating when you've got Smells Like We chasing down Eric? Wolfs this eagerly. Move over Tinder. This is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour.
Woo-wee. There's more tension between Smells Like We and Eric Wolfs than there is at a shotgun wedding. Pass the popcorn and let's see where this love story goes.
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Armin Sunoiler is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Jerry Yu. Crikey, Eric, Wolfs is playing hardball today. Closing off those gaps like a tight-knit woolly jumper. Good luck weaving through that one. Smells like we.
Look at those tires on Eric Wolf's car. They're gripping the asphalt like an eagle on a trout. Smells like we's got their work cut out for them.
A setback for Eric Wolfs, who has just been passed. Like a scene from a thriller, Jack M Team is on Eddie's tail, hungry for that spot.
This is where every inch counts. Jack M Team is pushing hard to close the gap on Eddie G. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing. Jack M Team is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they're 0.8 seconds down. Hold on to your seats. Jerry Yu's turning the heat up on Lars, closing in for the kill. You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curbs. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
The gap between Jury U and Lars is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun. The gap between hold on a moment, blimey. Hugh Jass must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way.
Holy smokes. Hugh Jass is serving up some backyard barbecue with that smoke show. Just missing the ribs.
Gee whiz. Armin Sunoiler is breathing down Lars's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Lars's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Look at that. They're trading places in every turn, a constant game of cat and mouse. Each driver knows one mistake could cost them dearly.
Spot on, Rob. This constant back and forth battle is keeping everyone on the edge of their seats. One small mistake could have severe consequences for any of these drivers.
He's pulling away. Mr. Bang is increasing the gap to Eddie G. It looks like Eddie G needs to dig deep and find some courage to catch up. Will they be able to take the risk and push their car to the limit?
That's right, Rob, it's time for Eddie G to show us what they're made of. Will they be brave enough to go for it, or will they be content with just following in the footsteps of Mr. Bang? Let's see who's got the guts to take the lead.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
Jack M team is so close to Eddie G that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
With that gap, Jack M team's practically drafting off Eddie G, eh?
Exactly. They're so close, it's like they're sharing the same race line. If Jack M team gets any closer to the back of Eddie G, then one of them is going to need some lube if they want to take this further.
Wow, Jack M team is really pushing hard to catch up to Eddie G. There's blood in the water for 13th place.
Jack M team is following Eddie G so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Jack M team for nabbing 13th.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Jack M team took that to heart, hitting 13th.
One thing I admire about Assetto Corsa friends is the sense of community. It's not just about the competition. It's about coming together, sharing knowledge, and pushing the boundaries of the sport.
You nailed it. Every time they hit the track, it's a culmination of shared experiences, lessons learned, and an undying passion for the sport. It's heartwarming and exhilarating all at once.
This is a thrilling battle as Eddie G edges closer to Jack M team in their fight for P13. That won't be ideal for Armin Sunoiler. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Jack M team is chasing Mr. Bang in P12.
Will Jack M team be able to make a move and pass Mr. Bang?
It seems like Jack M team is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Jack M team refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
Eddie G is giving it their all as they chase down Jack M team in P13.
This isn't just racing, it's art in motion, and Eddie G is painting a masterpiece in pursuit.
Mate, Jack M team's gonna have to defend like a kangaroo in a boxing match.
You Aussies and your analogies. But yeah, it's game on for sure.
Impressive stuff from Jack M team, who has managed to pull away from Eddie G, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes.
Jack M team's doing just what they need to, like a dog that's found a bone.
Hal, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Rob. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
Things are getting spicy now, as Jack M Team and Eddie G look to battle it out for 13th place.
Jack M Team needs to get the lead out, Rob, otherwise their backside is gonna look like the Japanese flag come the morning.
It's an intense battle for position as Byrne tries to outmaneuver Armin Sunoiler. This is edge of your seat racing.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Byrne is putting the pressure on Armin Sunoiler. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Someone should tell Armin Sunoiler this ain't a Sunday drive. Byrne's tearing up the track.
You see, it's moments like these that separate the champs from the chumps. And Byrne's looking every bit the champ today.
The race is really heating up. Armin Sunoiler is hunting down Smells Like Weed with everything they've got. Oi, Armin Sunoiler, no time for a smoko break. Smells Like Weed's tearing up the track like it's the end of the world. Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
Fair dinkum, I reckon Jury U's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Megasaurus 55 in the front. Jury U's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Megasaurus 55. Jack M Team wants to get into Mr. Bang's slipstream.
Can they make it past without taking the paint off?
No room for error here. Armin Sunoiler is breathing down the neck of Smells Like Weed, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Hold on to your hats, folks. Jack M Team is right on the heels of Mr. Bang, and we're in for a wild ride.
It's a battle for position as Jack M Team tries to make a move on Mr. Bang. This is what racing is all about.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Armin Sunoiler is taking that advice to heart today.
Someone's revved up after lunch. Armin Sunoiler's blitzed ahead, claiming ninth.
Y'all ever see a hot rod at a country fair? Armin Sunoiler's giving me those vibes right now with that ascent.
You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard drinking. That's exactly what Armin Sunoiler is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
Hold on to your stubbies. Mr. Bang is closing in on Jack M Team like a bachelor at the end of a buck's night. Hope Jack M Team either brought some lube or protection.
Mr. Bang's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's Corsa. If Jack M Team isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
With all these modern racing aids, I sometimes wonder, would the legends of the past, the real trailblazers of the sport, have had it easier or tougher today?
That's a debate for the ages, Rob. The tracks might have evolved, the cars definitely have, but the heart of racing? That's eternal.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Jury U zeroes in on Megasaurus 55, blade sharpened and ready.
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Yorgu's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
You know, Mr. Bang reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. It looks like Jack M team is pulling away from Mr. Bang. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Variant Villeneuve. Blimey, Jury U's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch. It's a pressure cooker out there. Every second shaved off means Jorg U's a step closer to tasting victory.
It seems like Jury U has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Megasaurus 55's lap time there. I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging. Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Hugh Jass acquaints themselves with a new perspective at 8th.
It's a nuanced game, isn't it? Hugh Jass's position change might very well be a part of a broader strategy.
The chase music's playing in Jury U's head as they reel in Megasaurus 55, moment by nail-biting moment.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Jorg U needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Hold on to your hats. Smells like we is gunning for Armin Sunoiler. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? Superb driving from Smells Like We, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Shoot, smells like we's got more moves than a dance floor on a Saturday night. Look at them shimmy into ninth.
Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage, it's an art form combined with sheer grit.
Now isn't this a show? Jack M team's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Eric, Wolfs. Look at them weave and bob through Pyratella, folks. Great effort from Jack M team. Their last lap was the best we have seen from them.
Someone's got a fire lit under. Jack M team's pushing like they've got a hound on their tail. Reminds me of the time I skipped out on the check at Dolly's Diner.
It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Smells Like We can catch some shade behind Burn, F?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit.
Smells Like We is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Burned at the moment. Oh, this is getting intense. Jury U is just a few car lengths behind Megasaurus 55.
The gap between them is just over 0.5 seconds. Can Jorg U close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
It's a close race between Smells Like We and Burned in 8th.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Smells Like We or Burnt? This is high-stakes racing.
It's looking good for Smells Like We, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Burned. Things are getting spicy as Jack M team is breathing down Eric, Wolf's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
With Jack M team on the hunt, Eric, Wolf's better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Talk about intense. Jury U is on Megasaurus 55's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Variant del Tamburello.
Hold onto your hats, folks. Jorg Yu is giving Megasaurus 55 a run for their money. Things are gonna get spicy as they round Variante del Tamburello.
Alright, hold your horses. Eric, Wolfs is really putting the heat on Jack M Team. If I were Jack M Team, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Eric, Wolfs is giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Jack M Team. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. Mr. Bang is on a mission, chasing Eric, Wolfs, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Eddie G is sniffing around Mr. Bang like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 13th.
That's right, Eddie G is determined to pass Mr. Bang and secure a higher position.
As a former racing driver, Hal, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Mr. Bang's inching ever closer to Eric, Wolfs.
Each roar of the engine, each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who'll pen the perfect ending?
I tell you what, Mr. Bang has got more problems than a maths book right now. Eric, Wolfs is leaving them in a cloud of dust. As a former driver, Hal, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Oi, Eric, Wolfs is on Jack M Team like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack.
It's not coming up roses for Eric, Wolfs. They're trailing Jack M Team and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Eddie's name on it. Mr. Bang, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. The best laid plans of mice and men, Hal, but it's certainly not going to plan for Eddie G right now as they are struggling to keep up with Mr. Bang. There's no escape now. Mr. Bang is breathing fire and has locked onto Eric, Wolfs' tail. Oi! Mr. Bang's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curves smoother than a croc sliding into water. Eric, Wolfs has got a battle ahead.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
Now that's how it's done. Mr. Bang rips through the track, while Eric, Wolfs watches the tail lights fade.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Mr. Bang needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
The pressure is on for Eddie G as they try to catch up to Eric, Wolfs. The gap between Eric, Wolfs and Mr. Bang is razor thin as they vie for 12th in this nail-biting contest.
If Eric, Wolfs isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine, and trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
If Eric Wolfs doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. The tension is building as Eddie G trails behind Eric Wolfs. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Eric Wolfs hold on, or will Eddie G be able to close them down? This is what high-octane racing looks like. Eric Wolfs is breathing down the neck of Mr. Bang, not giving him any room to relax. Stone the crows. Eric Wolfs is on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, 12th. The way these cars grip the track is incredible. It's all about downforce. They're stuck to it like a piece of gum to the bottom of a school desk.
Now that's an analogy I get. But why is your gum always under the desks?
Mr. Bang is running 14. They are trying to catch Eddie G.
Well, butter my biscuit. With a gap just shy of a second, Mr. Bang's car is dialed in. He's looking to reel Eddie G in on the straights of Imola OSRW 1.15.
Heating up as Jerry Yu closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. As rubber meets road and strategy meets luck, Magic Mike is etching their story in second.
They're not just driving, they're performing. And right now, Magic Mike's act from second is worth an encore.
Stop the press. Jerry Yu is pitting. If Mr. Bang goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Mr. Bang's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Stop the press. Roll Postma is in the pits. Every gear shift, every pedal push, Mr. Bang's got one goal in mind, capturing Eddie's spot. It looks like Mr. Bang has been called into the pits. Tell ya what, Jack M Team's got more followers right now than I do on Insta. Which, to be fair, isn't saying much. Strike a light. Jack M Team is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Jerry Yu, did that sting a bit?
Giddy up, looks like Jackum Team's kicking the dust up. Jorg Yu better buckle up and respond.
Things are heating up as Jerry Yu tries to close the gap to Eric Wolfs. It seems like Jerry Yu is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. Oi, Jerry Yu, if you wanted a tour of Eric Wolfs' rear bumper, you've got a front row seat. Better make your move before the show's over. This is what it's all about, folks. Jerry Yu is in hot pursuit of Eric Wolfs, who's just trying to stay ahead. Oi, someone tell Jerry Yu this isn't a Sunday Arvo drive to the bottom. Eric Wolfs is making him look a bit slow out of the gate. What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress.
Sorry to interrupt here, but it's like David versus Goliath out there. Jerry Yu just slung a stone and gained ground, while Eric Wolfs is left searching for footing. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. A brilliant maneuver from Jerry Yu. Braking update. Well, Jack M team's spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get them a mat or a therapist. This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to the ragged edge looking for every last ounce of speed. Could be they are pushing too hard though, and that's only going to slow them down.
The adrenaline is pumping as Roel Postma gets within striking distance of Smells Like We in their race for 6th.
If Roel Postma gets any closer to Smells Like We, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
Crikey. Roel Postma's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 6th. So, how, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout the race.
Cricky. Eric, Wolfs is sticking to Jerry Yu like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. It seems like Eric, Wolfs is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Jerry Yu's.
Well, butter my biscuit, Eric. Wolfs is taking their sweet time out there. Good thing Jorg Yu brought their A game.
You reckon Mr. Bang saw a spider in the cockpit? 'Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Eddie G is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Mr. Bang and P15 doing everything they can to catch up.
Cricky, Eric, Wolfs has got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate.
Dang, Eric. Wolfs is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
The gap between Eric, Wolfs and Jerry Yu is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 1.5 seconds. At this stage of the race, Hugh Jass is holding on to 5th. Anything could happen from here. Hugh Jass's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Roel Postma will be on their tail in 3.0 seconds. The gap between Eric, Wolfs in 11th and Jerry Yu remains over a second, but Eric, Wolfs is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close the gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 22 minutes?
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Eric, Wolfs is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
Oh, the chase is on. Mr. Bang's breathing down the neck of Eddie G. It looks like Mr. Bang is making a move. The gap to Eddie G is now down to 0.4 seconds. Things are going according to plan for Mike O'Hagan, who is currently second.
Oh, spot on. With the way O'Hagan controls at second, you'd think they've got the track's blueprints.
As fast as a cut snake, Mike is moving away from Megasaurus 55.
Seems like Mike has got the wind in their sails, but will Megasaurus 55 be able to weather the storm? Mike's as cool as a cucumber out there, making it tough for Megasaurus 55 to catch up.
If I had $1 for every time Mr. Bang closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Eddie G, the thunder from down under is coming.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Mr. Bang needs to be careful not to overdo it.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Eddie G is getting smaller. Blimey, Armin Sunoiler is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster.
It's going to be tough for Armin Sunoiler, as Burnt seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've...
Breaking news, folks. Looks like Burns playing in the dirt. Took me back to when I tried rallying in my mum's old sedan. Good times, expensive repairs.
Well, butter my biscuit. Burnt just did the hokey pokey right in the middle of the race.
We got a close battle as Mr. Bang closes in on Eddie G. Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Mr. Bang, lagging behind Eddie G and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Stone the Crows. Eric, Wolf's is in 11th, but if I know them, Burns gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. Mate, Eric, Wolf's is creeping up on Burned like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear. The intensity is off the charts as Mr. Bang hounds Eddie G, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Mr. Bang's falling behind Eddie G at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. A great pass for Mr. Bang as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Eddie G has lost ground. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Eric Wolf's looked like overtaking, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
By the looks of it, Mr. Bang in 15th is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Eddie G. Hold on to your stubbies.
Well, butter my biscuit. Mr. Bang's hot on Eddie's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Imola OSRW 1.15 today.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Eddie G is widening. It's now up to 0.7 seconds. You Americans have your drive-thrus. Here, Roll Postmas trying to make this a drive past on huge ass.
Well, let's see if they can supersize that pass, or if they'll just get a side of disappointment. Y'all ever been to a Carolina hoedown? Cuz Roel Postma's dancing with that car, looking to waltz right past huge ass.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Roll Postma's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with huge ass. Tell ya what, Eric, Wolf's has got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Burned. Hope Burned brought the aero guard, cause is about to get bitten.
The tension between Eric Wolf's and Burned is palpable as they battle for P10. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them a position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Buckle up. Huge ass is all over Roll Postma like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race.
I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Mr. Bang, who is currently in P15. But Eddie G is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Mr. Bang. Looks like Mr. Bang remembered to twist that anti-roll. Wait, well, if it isn't Megasaurus 55, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac.
Lord have mercy, Megasaurus 55 must have seen a ghost or thought they spotted Bigfoot. That was one wild turn.
This is edge of the seat stuff. Mr. Bang is relentlessly hunting down Eddie G. Who'll blink first? Bloody ripper. Mr. Bang's just made Eddie G look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
Mr. Bang's driving like they stole something, and that something is Eddie's dignity. Ouch.
The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions, and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
It looks like Eric Wolfs is pushing hard to catch up to Byrne. The gap is over a second, but Eric Wolfs is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Byrne? Bloody oath, Eric Wolfs is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Byrne down to a scant 0.9 seconds. I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Mr. Bang and Eddie G. It's almost like a Saturday night day, but with a lot more rubber burning.
The gap between them is now just over 0.9 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Remember when Hugh Jass was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night.
Watching Hugh Jass right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
As the laps tick by, Roll Postma finds themselves in 5th. Every moment counts. Impressive driving from Roll Postma, who has managed to extend their lead over Smells Like We. They are walking away at this point. Does Smells Like We have anything in reserve?
Yes, it's clear that Roel Postma is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Smells Like We to catch up.
Fair dinkum, Megasaurus 55's got a blue trying to bridge that gap. Might be praying for a blue from the frontrunners at this rate.
That's tougher than a $2 steak right now.
Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to last to 2.0 seconds. Watching Mr. Bang try to close the gap on Eddie G is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. With the asphalt burning beneath them, Hugh Jass's strategy seems to be working, placing them in 8th.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
It's a dynamic landscape out there. Hugh Jass's shift to 9th is testament to that.
Well, slap my knee and call it a dance. Huge asses taking a little sidestep there.
We are used to seeing some hard-fought but clean racing here at Assetto Corsa, friends. I'm expecting to see nothing different here today as this race unfolds. Looks like Bernd is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Mr. Bang is closing in on Eddie G.
Sweet tea and biscuits. Mr. Bang's got the pedal to the metal, chasing down Eddie G like it's the last slice of pie at a family reunion.
It's looking good for Smells Like We, sitting in 6th. Oh, it seems, Hal, that Smells Like We has seen their lead over Armin Sunoiler shrink to 2.6 seconds.
Will Smells Like We be able to keep Armin Sunoiler from breathing down their neck? Let's wait and watch.
We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Currently, Huge Ass has carved out a spot at 11th.
You're right. Every gear shift, every turn counts. Huge Ass knows the weight of that 11th.
Eric, Wolf's is more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand.
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Eric Wolf's is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Bernd keeps hiding the main ingredient.
I tell you what, Eric, Wolf's has got more problems than a maths book right now. Bernd is leaving them in a cloud of dust. You ever ponder how these drivers manage the heat, especially in that tight cockpit? It's hotter than a ruse pouch in midday sun.
Hey, ruse what? I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like driving in Arizona with the heater on, right?
Oh mate, Mr. Bang's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the Barbie.
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Mr. Bang's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
As Magic Mike trails Robin Overbeck, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
You know, Mike reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for them, there's a better end result in sight.
Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Mr. Bang's not letting Eddie G have all the fairy bread at this party. Watch out, Eddie G, he's coming for your Tim Tams, mate.
This is more than a race, it's a battle of wills, of nerve, of sheer determination.
Whoa, Mr. Bang's on fire, leaving skid marks and Eddie's hopes behind.
Well, it's not just about speed, it's about strategy. But right now, Mr. Bang's showing a masterclass in both.
Alright, I've got to ask, ever tried Vegemite?
Tried it once. Reminded me of NASCAR rubber mixed with axle grease. But hey, to each their own.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Eddie G is right behind Mr. Bang, keeping the pressure on for 14th place. It's a challenging situation for Eddie G. They're sandwiched between their fierce competitors, 0.1 seconds away and Mr. Bang 0.1 seconds ahead. They'll need to stay sharp and find an opportunity to make a move.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind create a dynamic situation for Eddie G. They must carefully manage their position while being mindful of potential overtaking opportunities.
I'm curious, Hal, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals help me feel prepared and focused.
Looks like Megasaurus 55's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now. It would seem Eddie G is starting to get a bit frustrated here at being held up by Mr. Bang.
A momentary lapse in concentration, perhaps? Moving at these speeds, a millisecond can make all the difference between success or total failure, Rob.
Talk about pressure. Eddie G is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both and Mr. Bang. Looks like Megasaurus 55 is trying to chase down Lars, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. Stone the crows. Megasaurus 55's going faster than a roo on the hop. Lars has got to step up their game now. The gap might be more than a second, but Eddie G is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give. Eddie G seems to be losing the plot with Mr. Bang. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Pyratella and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the frontrunners, Smells Like Weed is showing prowess in 6th.
That's right. They can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
Crikey. Smells Like Weed's flat out like a lizard drinking, pulling away from Armin Sunola with quite a clip. If racing were a dance, Jack M team would be trying to lead, but Hugh Jass just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Jack M team right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Blimey, Jack M team's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub.
Exactly what Jack M team needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Hugh Jass.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Megasaurus 55 trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Lars. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? Megasaurus 55 is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.45 seconds down.
Can Megasaurus 55 refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
Any bloke or Sheila saying Assetto Corsa friends isn't top notch is a few kangaroos short of the top paddock. Out there, it's art on wheels.
Totally get you. Like, they're born racers. That weaving, the speed, just mesmerizing. It's like watching a roo dodging a ute on a highway. All skill, mate. All skill, definitely. But they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Robin Overbeck has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
Blimey, Megasaurus 55 is farther back than my hairline. But, you know what they say about Aussies, never say die, unless it's a spider. Then just run.
Well, butter me up and put me on a biscuit. Megasaurus 55's got a mountain to climb. But, knowing Megasaurus 55, that's just the kind of challenge they like. Like trying to square dance in a roundhouse.
I reckon Lars's bumper sticker must read, "You can look, but you can't pass." Megasaurus 55's getting a good read of it for sure. A commanding performance from Lars, who has increased their lead over Megasaurus 55, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. But could they be pushing too hard? As with that comes the risk of overconfidence and losing control. Who will be the first to get too cocky and end up in the wall? These drivers? Top-notch athletes. It's not just about being quick. They've got stamina, reflexes, and they gotta think faster than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
I'd pay to see that. A kangaroo on a trampoline? But yeah, their mental and physical game has to be on point for these races.
This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Megasaurus 55 is the predator, with Lars firmly in their sights. Would ya look at that gap? Armand Sunoiler's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. Crikey, Armand Sunoiler is losing touch with Smells Like Wee quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Megasaurus 55 is stalking Lars's every move.
In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who'll make the next move?
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Jury U is proper nipping at Armand Sunoiler's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
This is what separates the good from the great. The ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
Wow, Robin Overbeck is really pushing hard in these final moments of the race.
They'll be the ones celebrating at the finish line.
The leader has done it. What an incredible performance from Robin Overbeck, who was simply untouchable today. This is a race that will go down in the history books. Mike O'Hagan never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish. Taking 7th, 8th, and 9th is Armand Sunoiler, Jury U, and Bernd. Followed by Eric Wolfs in 10th. In 11th, it's Hugh Jass. Coming in 12th, we have Jack M Team. Thirteenth is Richard Rossier. With Mr. Bang in 14th. Well done to Lars for securing 3rd place on the podium. 4th sees Roll Postma. Megasaurus 55 and in 5th. Smells Like Wee brings home 6th.